This is absolutely awesome. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm your host D-Day, bringing you more Let's Play Stoneblock 3. And as you can see behind me, I've been goofing around trying to figure out how these create boilers work. So let me tell you guys what I have figured out so far. I ran a bunch of different experiments. I learned about these steam whistles. If you give them a redstone signal, they make a sound to tell you that the boiler has enough heat. And originally I thought, okay, I'm gonna move the boilers up. I'm gonna make it taller and taller and taller until the whistle stops blowing to see how much heat it can make. But doesn't matter how big I make it. You apply a redstone signal, if it has any heat, this guy goes off. So a little bit disappointed with the steam whistle. I tested out magma blocks and I tested out campfires. All of the different sizes and all of the different heat sources, they all only give me 1 bar of heat. So this guy's only 3 tall, 1 heat at the bottom. This one's 4 tall, 1 heat at the bottom. Whistle works. And then this one, I made a 2x2, and I went all the way up to the ceiling to test the whistle. It works. 1 heat block, 4 heat blocks. It doesn't matter. The bottom part where it says heat, it gives me only 1 green, and it extends the red a little bit, which I think that is the maximum capacity, but not how much heat you're actually getting. So 1 campfire, 4 campfires, 1 magma block, 4 magma blocks, it doesn't matter. It still only gives me the same amount of heat. And of course, with water attached to it, it doesn't matter how many arms I attach. It gives me 2048 stress units. Doesn't matter how many arms you attach. It doesn't matter how big the boiler is. Also, I did an acacia button, so it doesn't just stay on the entire time, just so I can toot my horn. But doesn't matter how many arms, it just distributes how much stress units each arm produces. So the entire boiler makes 2048. This arm does 2048. If I had 2, each arm would show 1024. So it's not that impressive. I tried testing this out with a 3x3. It does form a boiler. Still, 9 pieces of magma block, only 1 bar of green heat. I even tried putting magma blocks along the top too to see if you touch the top and the bottom, you think about it, it should make more heat, right? Then having 2 touching it should heat it up twice as much, but it doesn't work. I'm pretty sure these boilers aren't programmed to be able to take heat sources from the top. I know what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to upgrade from campfire to magma block to an active boiler. You see how it says boiler status passive? The active boiler, we have to put the captured blaze burners. We have to put a blaze burner underneath, and it turns into active. You feed the blaze burner anything, and while it is burning the blaze burner, I'm pretty sure the heat is more than 1. And then, of course, the maximum heat is when you feed a blaze burner one of those magma cakes. So it's a little bit unfortunate. Like, the top doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's a 3x3. It doesn't matter if it's a 2x2. It doesn't matter how tall it is, and it doesn't matter how many heat sources you attach to the bottom. Campfire, magma block, it doesn't matter. Just to show you guys, let me get rid of all of these guys. Heat possible too, but only 1 magma block can heat this 3x3. It doesn't matter. And like I said, this one has 3 arms. It looks really cool. 3 arms. Still, kinetic stress 2048. Same thing. 2048. Same one. And then via 3 engines. So each engine does 682. Not sure how we can take that into consideration. Maybe if we get rid of the middle one and we just make 2 different engines running at half of the boiler if you wanted to split it up. But by comparison, I wanted to show you guys this. This is my windmill design. And yeah, now I found out that super glue, the super glue from Create, it won't let me super glue the wool anymore. So we can't have a middle of wool. So one piece of wool in the middle. Now I understand why System Collapse only did one white wool. He didn't make a full bar when he did his vertical. At first I was thinking, oh, okay, he's just changing it up a little bit so it's not like copying my design 100%. He's just doing the one. But just to put it into perspective, this one is 3 wide, 3 tall, and 4 sides. This windmill bearing makes 2048, so it's your choice. If you want to make a tiny boy like this, it's a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4 to make 2048, or a windmill like this to make 2048. This one, of course, has a higher top end because we can go another, what is that? Another 5 by 3 up high, because we can do a full row of 8 and it'll go up. Let me do that real quick and show you guys what the maximum of the windmill bearing is again. Okay, and let's go purple chicken and cyan chicken. Oh, and I forgot, we don't actually use these up when we paint. We just need to right click it. So we don't need a full stack of these guys. Okay, we got 4 by 8 times 4. And of course, we'll do our design like so. One side cyan, one side purple. Here's my armored horse. Okay, and how did I do the design? Bottom corner first. Corner, corner, corner. Like this, and we could go all the way up to the top, but I won't bore you guys with that. And there we go. That is still the king. It is still the king for the windmill. 8,192 stress units. So the only other thing that I can think of that would be kind of fun is to try to make these boilers with as small as they can be. So 1, 2, 3, 4 with one heat source. I'm thinking that as small as can be. Let's do something silly real quick. I have a crazy idea in my head. Let's try this out real quick and I'll cut back. Awesome. So this idea that I had, it actually did work. I went ahead and I ran the aqueous accumulator around the back end. And what I did is I made one of these boilers, 1 by 4 tall, one heat source, attached it to water, and it runs at size 1, water 1, heat 1, so 2048 via one engine. And I tested to see it does not form a multi-block if you make them one at a time. And see the one at the end? 2048 via one engine, 2048 via one engine, 2048 via one engine, 2048 via one engine. That's over 8,000 stress units all connected into this one crank. So it's a silly way of making this, but it takes up less space. This is 8,000, this is 8,000. And sure, the windmill has more rotation, faster rotation than this guy, but we all know that as soon as we have rotation speed controllers, the only thing that matters is stress units. So I'm hoping that these are all additive. Since they're all working next to each other, they're all part of the same crank here. This should be 8,000 and fully expandable. Like we could just continue and make the entire wall of this guy. But of course, like what we need to do is we need to be able to set this up in a way. Let's see, like this. I guess we could hide this guy. We need to put it all in one line and then attach it to something and see if when we attach it to a rotation speed controller, if we can make a whole bunch of different things work at the same time. So let me goof around with this real quick. I'm going to set up more of these boilers. Oh, and what I learned is you have to attach the water after creating the boiler. If you have the pipe just laid out like this and you make a boiler, the pipe won't attach to the back. It won't get any water. So do that first. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. I'll go ahead and do that real quick, and we can see this monstrosity of a wall working. Crazy wall of boilers. So let's see. Oh, see, this one says 0 now. 0, 0. 0. It looks like it's not getting enough water now. Oh, yeah, now I know what I did wrong. It would help if I redo this guy real quick. Let's see if this solves the problem. Water? All right. We got 2048 via 1, 0. 0, 0, 0. Looks like it's not reaching the water now. All of the water is going just to the first guy here. Did I forget one? Yeah, I did. Drop that guy. Even though I don't need the cobblestone. It all stopped. Water now? Yeah, now they're all out of water. Maybe the aqueous accumulator is not getting enough water through. Redo this. Maybe it can't transfer this much water. Detaching 1. Nope. Let's do some testing. Okie dokie, I got it to work. It looks like the aqueous accumulator by itself, since it can't transfer that much water, one aqueous... man. How do you pronounce it? Aqueous accumulator. One of these guys can supply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these boilers. So one aqueous accumulator can generate 5 of these guys. So we need to make more of these aqueous accumulators for every 5 we have up and running. So I'm thinking of doing something a little different. So let's see. Oh, guys, I am so happy that this experiment worked. This is so awesome. So I went and I made these guys a little bit taller. The minimum, of course, is 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I went all the way up to 6 just for aesthetics. I hid the magma block underneath. When you do them like this, it puts the boiler at the bottom, which I really like. I went ahead and I guess I'll show you this over again. I took the steam whistle and I put it down here on this side. And I found out that if you right click it, it doesn't use up additional steam whistles. You can go as tall as you want. And you see it says pitch C. Is that sharp for all of the music guys out there? Pitch C, pitch B now. You can also take the wrench and change it to, let's see, pitch B. No, it stays pitch B. So I believe this one is normal. I went ahead and I hid an oak button in here. The acacia didn't look right, but I hid an oak button in here. And then you can make it even fatter for a deeper tone, or you can make it skinny boy. And since the button goes on and off, can just do that to toot our horn. I love this design. It works. All of these boilers are 2048 via one engine. All of them have water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One aqueous accumulator can supply all 5 of them. And they're all connected in here into a gearbox. And then I made a speedometer and a stressometer. So the speedometer shows rotation speed is slow at 16 RPM rotations per minute. But this is what makes me really happy. Gauge information off of this one gearbox. Remaining capacity, 10,240 stress units total. So one aqueous accumulator, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boilers set up this way can make 10,240 stress units like this. And I went ahead and I put it along the top just to make it look kind of cooler. I'll run my stress units along the ceiling and be able to cut them off. But what we could do is we could set up another one right next to it. And if we connect the arms with a shaft, I'm pretty sure this guy will go up to 20,000. So one wall of these boilers, 20,000. Or you could just go with my original vertical windmill that I've been doing ever since Create came out. This guy's 1,000 or 8,192 stress units. Still good. I'll probably have both of them hooked up because we can just attach these all and get massive stress units just to go to all of our machines. I know the next thing, we're doing a really far tangent on this series because I got super obsessed with wanting to learn how these boilers work. But the next thing that we can do, of course, is doing the crushing wheels. We're way behind where we should be, but I'm having a lot of fun. And I think this design is really cool. It's unique. And I definitely want to set up another one next to it, connect them and see if the stressometer here goes 20,000. And here we go. We have set up 2 identical setups here. They're mirrored, going along the top. Let's check this out real quick. I moved one of them just to be symmetrical. But look at that. 20,480 stress units. And all we had to do was set these guys up next to each other. Instead of building one big one with the same amount of materials, instead of making one big one, we can just make a whole bunch of small ones and connect them together. Rotation speed is slow, 16 RPM, but that doesn't matter because we're going to have rotation speed controllers. 20,480 stress units. So it's your choice if you want to go ahead and go with a boiler setup like this, which looks pretty sweet in my opinion, or you can go with the vertical windmill that we've always been making. 8,192 is still good. But like I said, I'm going to connect these two together and hook them all up to the same stress units. So we're going to have a lot to work with. Toot toot. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today. Smash like to show your appreciation and consider leaving a boom in the comment section below. Also, click on my dude here to subscribe for more Let's Plays. Ooh.